Well, I'm back in. My memory card was full, so it stopped taping. I probably won't show you all of them because it takes too much time to pop them all out. But I do want to show you another way to make a decoration, not using that kind of resin. That kind of resin is kind of expensive. So if you're doing like bigger decorations, you can use like this one, or maybe even the sorry, yeah, here, like these birds that I made from other resin decorations. It's kind of big. Well, then I use my acrylic resin or plasticre. It's also a two-part. It's also with two parts. This is a powder, and it's not as toxic as the other resin, and it's easier. Maybe not easier. It takes not as long, not as long time to cure as the other resin. The only problem is it's hard. It hardens very fast. It cures very fast, so it's hard to do with too small of decorations. And well, I'm gonna show you how to do. You need a bowl, and I don't know the name in English for this one. It's a visp in Swedish. And you take the powder. It's two parts of powder and one part hardener. I don't have so much left, so that's maybe like one and a little bit more. And then I usually take water, because when I only have the hardener, it gets it's too thick. So I usually pour some water in it so I can get it more fluid, and it really doesn't hurt the curing afterwards. Probably the water takes much more space than the other. And when it disappears, it's gonna be smaller, but I usually don't mind. You can color this one with the Distress ink, Tim Holtz Distress ink, or other kind of inks. I found it harder to color it with acrylic ink than the Distress ink. You need quite a lot of color because the white in the powder, it weakens the color, it bleaches the color. Well, first I pour some water. I usually don't measure that. And like when you do pancakes and stuff, you have to whip it really good. And then I take the hardener. It's part B. I used to bought this at Kim. And because I took almost 1 cup of powder, I'm gonna take maybe half of the hardener. And it depends. You can usually use different measurements. The only thing is gonna take a longer time if you don't have so much hardener, and shorter if you have more hardener. But it's fast, so you don't have to worry about the time. The first time I used this, I didn't stir it too good, so there were lumps in it, and that didn't get so nice when it was finished. Well, I'm gonna take this and the mold I got at Etsy. I'm just gonna pour. The harder thing with this is it gets almost always gets more bubbles than usual, normal resin or epoxy resin. But I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna pour it all. My molds are messy. I haven't cleaned them too good. And this is a big button that I got from Mold Muse. Well, I usually don't care because it's easier to do this bit first and then color them afterwards. Like that. It looks more easier here, but it's hard to do the small thing on the small parts. And this is a lady I got from Australia, actually. I really love this mold. It's one of my favorites. Maybe I'll do this one. It should be fun. Wait a minute, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try to put these two together. I have a back and a front. Wait a minute, I'm gonna get. I never tried this one, but I'm taking a rubber band to see if I can hold them together. It would be fun, but I'm not sure. Like that. Well, let's see if it works. And remember to stir in the bottom after, because it the powder sinks and it doesn't. It's harder to pour the last molds. No, it doesn't work. You see? This was too bad. I have to try another way to do them. Well, actually I can do the top one. I usually use that one alone. I'm sorry for the... I like the other videos, I planned this, but I didn't plan to change my first idea. like that. And this one is gonna look like this when it's ready. You see they have I got some bubbles in some of the decoration, but most of it looks really good. And it's hard, but it's more easy to break than if I had used this kind of resin. That's why it doesn't work to do the small things with this resin, because it breaks more easily. And I made this one with a first impression mold, and you see the nose has a bubble, and the fingers has a bubble, and the ear has a bubble. But otherwise it became really beautiful. You can see all the details of the hair and of the baby skin. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, if when you buy this the plastic resin at Kin, you can also buy metallic powders, and I bought the iron powder, and I don't know if you can see the details, but I pour the powder first in the mold, and then I pour this plastic resin on top of it. And when it cured, I take stålull, sorry for the word, the metallic cleaner, or I don't know what to say, and you just rub it, and I usually put them in vinegar and water, and they start to rust. So this is normal rusty pieces, and I think they're so beautiful. This lion is the same. It's from this mold, and it's real rust, and I don't know why, but with the rust in it, or the iron powder, it gets more durable. So this one is much harder than this one, and even probably can have to do something with me pouring water in the mold, in the making of the resin. You shouldn't do that, but it's much easier to pour it in the mold afterwards. Well, that's it. I hope you ask questions if you want to know something, and take care.